Everyone, RemanX here, and we're going to talk a little bit about my journey through the Infinity Watch. We're going to take a look at this ISO level 5 Moondragon, and we're going to travel back in time before I had started throwing some gear on her, taking her to G14. I'm out of waffles. These look like waffles. They look like waffles, right? Anyway, I'm out of waffles, so I can't take them to G14. So we're going to travel back in time, take a look at her in the second node between the starting node and the boss node in the raid, the later skill nodes, and we'll take a look because I brought her into the Doom raid. We're going to see how she does, so stay tuned. We're going to give a full evaluation here and watch what happens. Oh, and you're going to see exactly how many characters I have ready to go for skill. Don't pick on me. I was hoping they would do what they did and roll it back. Anyway, let's go. So right away, guys, if you guys don't know, yeah, I did get her to 3-star, and because I have to make content on it, it's going to justify the price. But more importantly, and this is up for debate. I made a video. Check it out. Is she worth buying now? Well, that's going to depend on who you are and how much you spend on characters. But she probably is a good value if you spend a lot on characters. You know what I mean, you dirty krakens. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right, guys. So right off the bat, you're going to see that character just survived an early onslaught of Taskmaster, and we're going to take a look at here. I just don't want the offense up in case he counterattacks, so we're going to go ahead and just let her do her thing. And with defense down, she's a high chance to be able to remove that, even with her lower power level. So I said, why not? Let's find out, and she does. And so realistically, that's a nice little rewind 2-turn slow on potentially the highest damage dealer there. You'll see realistically, I wanted to get that heal off before heal block dropped in and made it improbable. And yeah, so you'll see that I was just in absolute shock when this was happening because I've only got 4 characters. She's not even a red star character at 3 yellow, and you'll see her score in a minute here. She is performing amazingly well. Remember, this is back in time. Again, we're showing the slow evolution of these characters through content, so you can help gauge when you think you're going to be able to use them. So she is able, with defense up and deflect in her kit, she is able to survive damage. When she gets close to death, she basically allows herself to get recovered pretty quickly. And so more importantly, you'll see with her combination of her and Night Nurse and the wall that is the Red Guardian, Kestrel can go to work. So later in the fight, you're going to see that she's going to be able to get her ability up again to be able to drop defense down. We called her a Kestrel enabler, so we definitely theorized that she would be good for the raid relatively early on. We were just surprised that she was ready for the raid this early in the adoption of her kit, which we're going to talk about this in a minute. Is this good for the game? Is this a power leap? What does this mean for us in the future? And should we worry? Well, right now I'm too busy beating a Doom raid node with a character that I'm glad I was able to bring up and get in here and get this test out. So obviously you can see there's definitely a bunch of defense down on the rest of the team here, so she'll be able to easily help out and keep Kestrel doing the work as you target characters. So that was a surprise. She took Deadpool's attacks very, very easily. Deadpool is clearly targeting her on multiple occasions and laughs it off. Again, this is not an easy node. This is probably a node that a lot of us struggled with a month ago with 5 characters. Knowing what my alliance went through to get to this raid in this point, there's a little bit of information here that it probably got a little bit easier, but more importantly, definitely feels like this character had some additional value. All right. So you guys will see at the end, I'll definitely highlight it. Obviously, there's a minute left. We're actually, at this point, we're building up cooldowns for the next node. Surprisingly, 4 characters. Moondragon was not a carry. She was doing her work in that fight. And I have no regrets bringing her to 5, building her towards the team that she'll eventually be on. So we're going to show you guys her power level, and yeah, guys, level 72, ISO 5, Striker. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. No T4s. yet. We did put some more into her. No T4s yet. And so this is realistically probably a surprise. At least it was to me, but I'm glad I have an opportunity to test it out. So just glad I made that investment. So realistically, we've got to talk about, this team. And so you can see that we've traveled forward in time. We've used our time stone and take a look at her power now. So I did use the meditation wave, and I was using this in some of her early power levels, and I definitely wanted it enough to prioritize it on her as one of the ideas here. The idea was to reduce the speed bar of the primary target. Came in handy when I was trying to get an early edge in, because especially like with Emma on the enemy team, I definitely liked that. It definitely was giving me a little bit of early edge, especially when I'm focusing down a target. In my estimation, this is going to be important during the mirror matches, and not having this and having this will determine if you're able to burst down a character, the burst down the character you're trying to focus on in that scenario, right? Remember, they're going to have those damage windows, and being able to slow a character without the safeguard, and potentially either it's going to be Adam Warlock, or I've done all my theory crafting here. It's going to be a character that'll either be protecting the team on his next turn or damaging the team on their next turn, but specifically without safeguard. Just stay tuned. We got some ideas here. And more importantly, you'll see that there's going to be some growth. We're going to be evaluating all these as we go forward. I definitely do like the telepathic burst with the plus 15% healing, but so far I haven't seen the need for it. So I'm already in the Doom raid, and I haven't had to rely on our healing, and they're doing what I expected. I was able to hit auto on the later node, the boss node, and they were able to get deep into the boss node on auto. And so what that tells me is we're in uncharted territory. A single character is replacing two characters in my raid lineup. The power gains the characters are making, even without red stars, are startling. And the magnification that red stars will make on these characters going forward is something we have to be aware of. Now, the thing about it is, if this power leap continues, we should just call it the power trend. And understand that a lot of characters that are being brought up from the bottom of our roster, and the new current metas that are coming out, will follow this trend, and it will become the new normal. So for this brief period in time, our rosters will feel significantly overwhelmed as we're bringing up characters that just overpower the rest, but there is the potential that this becomes the new normal. So bear with me. Hold on tight, because I think we're in for a heck of a ride. So maybe that means hold on tight to your wallets. I didn't go really hard on Heroes for Hire, and I think I saw the meta shifting. I knew this team was going to be good, and I was a little worried that these guys were a bit of a trap. I'm not sure how I feel. I think they're a great team as you build them up. I think they're phenomenal, but I didn't go. I didn't spend them up to 7 stars or feel the need to. Luke Cage and I did to bring to G14, and regretting missing the pieces for Philovel. But because there was another Mystic on the horizon with Adam Warlock's kit being revealed early, I held off an Iron Fist. And Misty Knight and Colleen Wing were the engine that drove that team, so I went a little bit harder on them, and also wanted to evaluate them in endgame content. At the end of the day, my focus is typically arena is greater than raid, is greater than everything else in the game. War offense, war defense. And so the idea behind that is arena is where you're going to get a lot of your credits here. So, and guys, I made a video. I'm going to go back to that just one more time. These offers in the store are for a limited time. If you are a Kraken and usually maximize teams by buying them up, you guys will see the math in that video. It realistically is something you want to take a look at. I do not think this is not her release method. I do not think this is an early access mode, right? This is not her release method. There's still going to be offers for them in my estimation. I would be shocked if there wasn't, but I think this is early access. And the idea is the event orbs have typically been, the Unity orbs have typically been among the worst as far as drop rate for the primary featured character. You've only been able to get about 4+ stars when you're hammering through the Blitz events, unless you get exceptional drops. And even then, I don't think I've ever seen anybody get a 5 without buying offers. So if you want to max this character, which again, she feels like she may be the character that we're going to be focusing down first to be able to beat the team. So something to consider going forward. Hope you guys like the video. Remember, I do things so you don't have to, and I'm taking this really slow with my Infinity Watch. Again, stay tuned. You guys will see them in additional content. You'll see them in some additional arena fights here. We're definitely establishing if we can get through some content without Adam Warlock, and if they are viable in arena on both offense and defense, and how much they can punch up. Check you soon.